Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I saw the musical Paint Your Wagon, and I really didn't know anything about the story or when it took place, but actually it takes place during the Great California Gold Rush, and Clint Eastwood is in it, and it's very unusual to think that Mr. Eastwood would be in a musical, but it's really impressive to see how well he can carry a tune, and the character that he plays, partner, is a very interesting one. Of course, you learn his name near the denouement of the film, but anyway, all the voices that were involved in the musical were just absolutely spectacular, and this musical actually takes place during the golden era of musicals in the 60s, and it's become one of my favorites, and I put it on my my list as being one of my favorite musicals of all time. And the whole story is, we have these miners living in a town, and it really isn't anything as of yet, and there are Mormons who come into the town, and they bid on the wife who doesn't have a child of their own. They don't want to separate mother and child, so she becomes somebody's property, and from that moment on everything changes, because her name's Elizabeth, and she's not only in love with him, but she's in love with partner, and of course in California everything's a little bit different, so the rules and regulations only apply to how they see fit, and everything starts to evolve in this manner. And I'm not going to say what happens later on, but it's just about how everything can proliferate over time, and how the Old West was certainly lawless in and of itself, and how greed can just corrupt everything. And they kind of make fun of religion, and I wasn't really offended by that at all, because to be honest with you, I do think that dogma causes a lot of problems, and fundamentalism is a huge deficit, and it's not real religion at all, because that's really not what religion is meant to be. But that's another topic for another time. But as far as musicals go, I must say that this is the pinnacle of musicals. It is at the acme of entertainment, and it's nothing short of just absolutely remarkable. And the music is just sumptuous and lush and outstanding. And a lot of songs that I had heard growing up, I didn't even know that they were in this film. Like, they call the wind Mariah, and I talk to the trees, and I was born under a wandering star. I mean, those are just some of the remarkable songs that come from this film. And one of the main characters who sings they call the wind Mariah, he was actually in Kiss Me Kate, which was another musical. I can't think of his name. It escapes me at the time. It's in Wikipedia. But this is a classic, and if you love musicals, this should really be in your list and on your shelf as part of your collection, because it's just absolutely astounding as far as musicals go. And there's so much to like about it: all the characters, the events, the humor, all that occurs within the duration of the film itself, and how art imitates life. There's an intermission as well, which the only other film that I can think had this, other than jokingly done in Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail, was Gods and Generals. And I know a lot of musicals for the time had intermissions because of this. It was to mimic an actual theater going experience if you couldn't afford to go see an actual musical in the theater. And it's just absolutely magnificent, and I absolutely loved it, and my dad did too, and just I still can't get over the fact that Clint Eastwood was in a musical. I mean, seeing this rough and tumble um, Western actor, well, mostly involved in Westerns. Um, Seeing him so young, and actually he was quite good looking. He was very handsome. Seeing him as sort of a no nonsense type of character, and actually he starts off as a virtuous character who is molded into something else later on in the in the in the involvement of the plot and where the plot goes, and there are quite a few plot twists along the way, and it's just a very splendid story, and I give it 5 stars and 2 thumbs way up. And if you like Clint Eastwood but don't like musicals, I would wager a guess that you may not entirely care for this movie because it does have music in it, but it's a classic. I mean, these are great songs that people probably still sing when they're out on the trail just because they're so nostalgic, but um people probably sing them at campfires as well just because of the old they tell a story. They're like the ballads of old, and a good song has a good story, and the music, the score actually goes somewhere. It doesn't trip all over the scale, and it's got a melody that you can at least sing, and it's not difficult to get to. Too high for your voice range. It's right where it should be, unless there's a well, you could probably sing it in another range. It could be written for another type of voice, but most of the songs were sung by male characters. There was only one song sung by Elizabeth herself, which was about her house, her cabin that is built for her by her bidder. I don't know. You call him prospector. I guess you could call him a prospector. I guess that's the best designation for him. Um, hmm. I don't know what else to say about this particular musical other than I really enjoyed it, and it was just absolutely um, tremendous, and I loved every single moment of it, which is hard to say for a film of its time, a classic. And I love Clint Eastwood, and seeing him in a musical I thought was very unique, and he was really very um, suave and debonair when he was younger. And you can see that in the way he looked, his rugged quality, and why he made such an excellent Western uh, typical male role, why they pigeonholed him at that time. I'm not sure how old he was when this film was made. Um, Other than that, I recommend the movie to anybody who enjoys musicals, even if you don't like westerns. This is a combination of a western and a musical melded together for just a just an outstanding movie experience. I mean, the songs in and of themselves are just um, terrific. Excuse me, I'm really tired, but I can highly recommend it to anybody who enjoys a rollicking musical, and just the whole idea of the storyline and the history involved. It's really fascinating history if you know anything about the gold rush. It's very accurate in how the era was portrayed, and just the greed that overtook people and their logic fell by the wayside. That's really portrayed fantastically well. And other than that, I'm hoping that I can review Final Fantasy Unlimited. I'm in the process of rewatching it. This is my second time watching it, so I will do a review of that as soon as I'm done watching it. And I will watch Army of Darkness and some other movies that I have available that I still need to watch. And I got my work cut out for me. I will be introducing some other Hetalia characters I've drawn, as well as a mock movie poster I'm doing for Help from On High, which is the romantic comedy I'm currently working on. I'm still working on Ace Monroe. Uh, I should really see Johnny English Reborn, because it's a combination. Um, Austin Powers meets Johnny English, and some homage to one of my favorite genres of all time, which would be 007, of course, the zenith of all spies. I love him. Michael Caine or Pierce Brosnan, or actually my favorite would be Sean Connery, but no one can replace the Connery. But no, you can't, because there's no one better than Sean. But I'm not gonna go into that. But I look forward to writing that, and I'm working on a number of other stories at this point in time. So I will keep you up to date, and please keep my dad in prayer, because tomorrow he's getting a biopsy on his thyroid. He has an almond-shaped nodule there, and from what I've heard, it's more than likely it'll be benign. But I need your prayers anyway, so I appreciate your positive thoughts, vibrations, perspectives, any encouragements that you may have to give me in this new endeavor that we're going to undertake. So I have the best wishes in mind, and my perspective is nothing but positive in this coming venture. So I will keep you updated no matter what happens. So stay tuned.